We are back on League Unlock. Eric and Mark here, and it's time to look ahead to the semifinals at MSI 2018. Flashback to Worlds 2017. Fnatic RNG in the quarterfinals. Pretty close set. Goes to 4 games. Fnatic has a pretty solid early game in all those games, but obviously RNG comes away with the win, and here we are. They get redemption. The only real roster change is Jesus is gone, and we got Hylissang in as support for Fnatic. He's been inting a little bit in the group stage overall, but obviously RNG are the big favorites coming into this one as the top seeds, the top dogs from the group stage.
Yeah, RNG has to be the favorites in this one. They were the favorites back in 2017 Worlds, and they're the favorites here again into this matchup against Fnatic. You have to like what they're bringing here to the roster, but you gotta say, if you're looking at Fnatic's side compared to how you did last time at Worlds against RNG, I think you're feeling a lot more confident in your roster, especially that you might think now, I think you've got a way to find a way around that Uzi and Ming win condition for RNG. I think you can find a way to beat them, avoiding having to have Rekkles and Hylissang out-duel our Uzi and Ming.
Uzi is in Rekkles' head.
Yeah.
He clearly got, I mean, in both the games in the group stage at MSI, Fnatic, you could say, had a chance to win, especially this game 1, if not for that crazy bush camp. they probably win that game because they had all the momentum in their favor. And I think Rekkles just respects Uzi too much. He seems to play so safe in these RNG games. Too safe, where he's just not putting out optimal amounts of damage. Whereas Uzi, we've seen him all tournament. He is not afraid to flash forward and be that front line when it works. That's the key.
Yeah, Rekkles has a lot of confidence in his own ability and his playstyles, but he definitely is a player that when he talks about his foes that he's going up against, he gives a lot of respect to them as well. But it seems that when it comes to Uzi, it's too much respect. It's too much of this fear of, he's too good for me type of thing, where it's, Rekkles normally goes into these matchups saying that, yeah, this double lift is also good, but you know what? I'm amazing too. I'm Rekkles, and he usually finds his way to get into it. I don't think that that's going to be something that Fnatic can count on going into this series against RNG. If you're going to find your victories, it's going to have to be through Caps and Broxa finding advantages against Xiaohu and MLXG.
Yeah, and you saw, those subs there. Buipo and Soaz. Soaz only played 1 game. Is Soaz actually going to get any games in this set? I don't think so. But in terms of RNG, you saw Karsa come on and completely annihilate his former team. I'm sure MLXG will get the majority of the starts here, but is there any chance Karsa maybe gets in game 1 or something?
Definitely a chance to see Karsa hop in there. They're both strong junglers, and again, you've said it. We've seen it enough times in this tournament. We've mostly seen MLXG, and we've seen the good MLXG, the guy who won the LPL title here. But sometimes, once or twice, we have seen the MLXD show up here and make some questionable performances. And heading into semifinals matches, as important as it is against Fnatic, I think that there is a chance that you might see Karsa come in, try to set the tone early, and then have MLXG come in for something a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, and we've seen so many of these teams utilize that double jungler spot where you're kind of have some outside eyes looking in and saying, oh, this guy's doing this pathing. This is what I noticed from that game. Maybe that's something, how they utilize Karsa. They have pretty similar champion pools, MLXG and Karsa. But MLXD even made it onto the casters. They're calling him MLXD. There were moments again, but even that Lee Sin game against, I think it was Kingzone, where he got insanely behind. He was 2 levels behind for the majority of the early game. He came back, made a big impact, and they won that game. So even with his bad moments, he still had far and away mostly good.
Normally when you're watching MLXG, you see, it's either one or the other in the game. You're either getting MLXD for that game or MLXG. But in this time, in this MSI tournament that you mentioned, that Lee Sin game, yeah, he started out as MLXD, but he fought through, managed to turn himself into MLXG again, found the win condition for his team, and they managed to get it done.
Looking at that mid lane, Caps is going to have to play like he did the first 3 or 4 days as opposed to the last 2 in that mid lane. Get him off these karma picks. This tournament, it's not time to support Rekkles because he has been struggling. Caps has been the man on a mission. They're going to probably ban Yasuo most of these games. His Aurelion Sol game, he looked, he was dominating early on. He was all over the map getting guys involved. But once it gets to that late game team fights, Aurelion Sol's impact dips off quite a bit.
Well, especially when you're having Reckless not exactly at the top of his game in there, when you're
Not auto-attacking.
Right, when you're on the Aurelion Soul and you're working through and you get that advantage early and you're starting to roam, it feels good. But you're right, when you get into those later team fights, it does tend to fall off compared to some of the other picks right now, and you do need other players to step up. And if you're Fnatic, you're not exactly seeing that out of Reckless still. Yes, you did see it in the playoff match against Team Liquid, but other than that, Reckless has not really shown up to the level that we would expect him at this tournament. So I think if you're Fnatic, you have to identify that Caps is your win condition, is your carry, and you have to build around that.
Yeah, Caps is the main win condition, but let's look at this key matchup. We know it's going to be in that bottom lane. We've already been kind of talking about it a little bit, but just look at these numbers. We know Uzi has been absolutely on a tear, an absolute animal. The damage for Reckless is way down from what we saw in the summer split, and obviously plus 16 CSD at 15 is ludicrous.
That's got to feel pretty good. You're coming
Flame Horizoning, guys, at 23 minutes.
You're back in with some pretty good gold in there to get a nice advantage there, power spike. But when you're talking, yes, this is the key matchup. As much as we say that Caps has to be the carry for Fnatic, still needs to have Reckless have an impact, be in the game, and you can't have him providing too much of an advantage for Uzi. Because if Uzi and Ming start building up that bot lane to be an absolute monster, good luck winning that one. So I think that the key here is for Reckless and Hylissang to hold lane long enough for Caps and Broxah to make their way down to the bot lane, try to help them out.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about why this is the key matchup is it's don't get too dumpstered by Uzi. It's not necessarily Reckless, dominate this matchup, carry the game. It's don't let Uzi get an 100 CS lead at 23 minutes. You've got to ban Kai'Sa. Ban the Ezreal, ban Kog'Maw. Frostgurn was saying it all the time on the cast. You got to ban those 3 champions from him. I know we can play the Xayah. Maybe you pick that up.
That's the scary thing, because you ban those 3, and then you have, what does he have? The highest win percentage Xayah, I believe, in the LPL.
First pick the Xayah for Reckless. He's shown he can play it. I'm sure Uzi can pick anything else. We'll just play Vayne and style on you then.
I'm just really hoping we don't see Reckless break out the Sivir again. I just don't think that that's the pick that you need right now.
You might contemplate banning Sivir if you're Fnatic.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the comms are, how it goes into it. If Reckless is just like, I'm super comfortable on this, I think it works on this comp. He's the captain, the main leader of that team. Maybe if he feels that pick works, they're like, all right, man, let's do it.
And the worst thing about it too, he's not even rocking the cosplay sneaky skin. You can't. If you're playing Sivir, you gotta wear pizza sneaky. You can't do it any other way.
Yeah, but we'll see how that bottom lane trends out. You got Fnatic taking this in a clean sweep, right? That's what Mark was saying?
No, not this time. Western Dreams, and here it's going to be RNG taking this one.
5 games? Can they get one more than Worlds?
They can get one more than Worlds. It'll take them to 5, but I've definitely got RNG. RNG will be clean in that 5th game, lay down the boot, stomp the ant.
Perfect game in Game 5. You heard it here. Mark believes RNG. Going to the finals. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at the other semifinal, Kingzone as the lower seed, taking on the Flash Wolves. Well, welcome back to League Unlock, everybody. Eric and Mark here, taking a look at the semifinals for MSI 2018. Already talked about RNG and Fnatic, the 2-3 matchup, and something we got to touch on, by the way, is it's the first year the first place team gets to pick who they wanted to play. Some people were saying, just be a man, RNG, pick Kingzone, get it over with. They didn't.
That'd be the ultimate BM bad manners right there, saying, hey, we don't care, LCK, bring them on, we'll take them on here in the semifinals.
I'd feel bad if they got 3-0'd.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even make finals.
Feel bad.
But they did pick Fnatic, and all in all, it ends up working out how the seeding is intended to, 1-4, and the 2-3 Flash Wolves versus Kingzone. And we all remember Flash Wolves 2-0'd Kingzone in the group stage. The upsets of the LMS taking down the LCK in group stage continues. Flash Wolves did it to SKT a couple years ago. And then when best ofs come, LCK reigns supreme.
Definitely a very different story. I was going to say, 2-0, the LCK, sure, you're the Korean killers. Oh, that's okay in the group stage. But I got to say, when I'm going to call against a Korean team in a best of 5, let me at least see them in that best of 5 first, okay? Once you get there, these type of teams, the preparation level that they can bring into it, how they can prepare against the Flash Wolves and bring out these strategies, it's different compared to other regions. I've got a lot of faith in Kingzone bouncing back for this one.
Yeah, and I mean, they don't have a ton of time to prepare. Their semifinal is on Saturday, so they have basically 3-4 days to kind of fully prep as they know who their matchup is. But in their matchups in the group stage, they were really clean for Flash Wolves. They were not close.
No, they were definitely decisive wins for the Flash Wolves. They managed to get themselves out ahead, shut things down, and even in games where Peanut was able to find some type of advantages, he wasn't exactly bringing it to the side lanes that he should have been doing against the Flash Wolves. Not what you wanted to see in King Zone, and I think that that's something that, again, on top of maybe getting Khan onto some more carries, is something that King Zone will have to identify and change heading into this series.
Yeah, and Peanut didn't play in 3 of the games of the group stage, which was more than I thought, and he wasn't there to close it out. Is Cuz starting game 1 in this?
It's definitely a possibility. Again, this is something that coming into this one, I didn't see happening all that often. King Zone, again, yes, being an LCK team, it is a strategy that they do like to use, but it was definitely, they were one of the teams that you didn't see it as often from. They definitely were a team that said, hey, Peanut is the #1 option. Let's roll with him for the main time. Now with some of these changes coming through, it seems that Peanut is still obviously the top option here, but that they've been trying to, experiment with Cuz here at this tournament. Not exactly the best of results so far, so I would really like to see King Zone stick out with Peanut for this group.
I believe Cuz played 5 games in the LCK regular season. Don't quote me on that, but I know it was single digits, and he already played 3 in the group stage at MSI, so definitely a lot more games than you were expecting because of how dominant Peanut was in the spring split, but we'll see who they send out there. Betty's a guy who overperformed far and away what people were expecting, but now he's up against Prey. Obviously, heavy advantage to Prey. Only Uzi was better than him in the group stage.
Yeah, I think that this is certainly an astounding bot lane to be watching for this semifinal because you're coming into this one and not only are you having Prey come into this bot lane against Betty, who's been showing up and proving that he is a top level AD carry, but you've also got some of the best playmaking supports in the game here. You're going to have Gorilla and Sword Art duking it out here. This is going to be an unbelievable bot lane to watch. I'm so excited for this matchup.
I hope we don't just get some Janna matchups in that bot.
Janna and then Soraka. I want to see something more exciting from these two guys for sure.
Even Tom Kench, I'm tired of it. I want to see these guys make some plays. Give me the Rakan, give me the Alistair, and take over games. The key matchup, though, for this one has got to come down to that mid lane, Maple and BDD. BDD really turned it on the last couple of days in the group stage, and Maple was our all-pro mid laner. He was the best performing guy from the group stage, really on fire for the Flash Wolves. BDD loves to get his side lanes ahead. Maple loves to just kill you, get some solo kills.
Yeah, when you're talking about that all-pro team and we're saying on these other positions that, yes, there were some other players that were tough into making the decision of who it was, but when you're talking about the mid lane, it was almost the most clear-cut decision to make here. Maple has absolutely been the best performing mid lane so far this tournament. He's really stepped up, showed up for the Flash Wolves, and been that top dog for them to carry them through victories. BDD on the other side for King Zone is someone that you would have expected, not exactly to be the carry, but someone to be providing more to his team to facilitate some of these guys to be carrying and snowball even more. We haven't seen exactly that from BDD. You are right, his performance did tick upwards towards the end of the group stage, but when you're looking at his performance heading into this semifinals, it needs to be sharper. Him and Peanut need to be working together at their absolute peak to be getting the advantages or anything that they can find in the jungle or working together and bring that towards the side lanes. Khan, Prey, and Gorilla try to find even more advantages here.
Yeah, you got to expect Khan to be playing much better at another level. He's going against a rookie, and Hanabi really got the better of both matchups, specifically that Yasuo one. Of course, we love that Yasuo-Gnar matchup, but Hanabi and Muujin, 2 rookie guys coming on to their first international event. Even Sword Art himself said the team was a little worried. They'd be a bit nervous coming into it, but they have not been nervous at all. They both performed fantastically well. We'll see how they stick up against King Zone. Flash Wolves, easy 3-0 in this one. First time LMS wins a best of against Korea since Season 2. Remember Season 2?
It's been
TPA.
a long time. It's been a real long time since they've had some success in a best of 5.
Who do you actually like? Do you like Kingzone?
I like Kingzone. I like Kingzone in this one, 4-1. I think that the Flash Wolves have shown enough here, and that especially again that 2-0 victory, 2-0 victories that they have against Kingzone already. They're definitely ready for them, and I think they can take a game off them. But I still think the Juggernauts of Kingzone will show up this time and be too much for Flash Wolves to take on.
I believe in Flash Wolves. It's the first time that an LMS team is going to upset a Korean since Season 2. 3-2 Flash Wolves. I believe in the rookies. That's all the time for today on League Unlock. Eric and Mark here. We'll see you guys tomorrow.